The inning ends on just 5 pitches. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. The 11th hour for the Terrapins as they'll look to score 1 run in the 9th inning and stay alive. Stay with us. You're listening to Terrapins Baseball on WMUC Sports and ACC Select. Terrapins trail 3-2 in the bottom of the 9th inning, looking to keep themselves alive. They'll do it against Luke Tucker, who will close it out for them.
And Tucker hasn't made many appearances this year for Florida State, only 5. Has pitched 4 2/3 inning and only given up 2 hits.
And a ball high to Dan Melvin. Melvin was showing bunt, pulled back, took the ball above the letters, 1-0.
He's also given up no runs. He has walked 2, but he has struck out 7 in those 4 2/3 innings, and opponents are hitting 125 against him.
1-0 pitch is down low from Luke Tucker, off to a tough start against Melvin, falls behind 2-0.
Well, he does have control issues. In those 4 2/3 innings, he has 1 wild pitch and 1 hit batsman.
2-0 the count to Melvin, the senior. Catches the outside corner, 2 balls, 1 strike. Terrapins looking to get a runner on and get that tying run on base, winning run at the plate. 2 ball, 1 strike pitch on the way. Golfed over our press box and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 the count to Dan Melvin. Melvin had a 2-0 advantage, fell behind. Now the count is even. Melvin struck out twice today, grounded out to second base. 0 for 3. Pitch on the way from Tucker. Melvin golfs that one up in almost the same spot over our press box, a little bit higher, but the count remains at 2-2. Right-handed action in Florida State's bullpen. I assume that pitcher will be coming in should Luke Tucker get in any trouble whatsoever.
And Melvin, as we said, one of the seniors on this team, really looking to do something here. He's 0 for 3 on the day.
2-2 the count. Pitch on the way from Tucker, down low and in the dirt. The count runs full. Melvin would love to have that leadoff walk represent the tying run on first base with nobody out. Melvin will be followed by Mike Murphy. Melvin will sit on his pitch. On the way from Luke Tucker, he reaches for that one. A good changeup from Tucker. Daring, throwing it on 3-2 with nobody out. But it works out for him as Melvin's way out ahead of it, fouls it off, stays alive.
And Melvin just trying to do anything he can here to make contact. He's doing a great job with his reaching for that ball and the 2 foul balls.
3-2 and nobody out. Pitch on the way. Slow grounder towards the left side. Stidham will have to hurry. The throw over to first base in time. Stidham does a good job scooping that one up and getting the quick throw from third to first. Melvin retired, looking for that infield hit, but there is 1 out in the 9th inning.
Mike Murphy now coming to the plate. He's 1 for 3 today. He had an infield hit in the first to the third baseman. He grounded out in the 5th, and he popped up to third base in the 7th.
Murphy, the third baseman, takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Danny Rosen, normally the closer for this Florida State team, getting the start and having a beauty of one. Obviously, he cannot close the game. The 0-1 pitch on the way, lined hard towards center field. Mark Gilday taking a few steps over. Good contact on that ball, but it's the second out as Gilday settles under it and the Terrapins down to their last out.
Now batting number 28, first baseman Jerry Spessard.
So the Terrapins down to their last out. Jerry Spessard, who we said made an error that indirectly led to a run, so he's really hoping to do something here. He's 0 for 3. He had 2 strikeouts, 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 7th, both swinging, and he flew out to center in the 4th.
Florida State fans encouraging Luke Tucker. Pitch on the way to Jerry Spessard is down low and away, 1-0. Spessard taps his bat on the plate, a couple of practice swings. Left-hander facing the right-hander Tucker.
Spessard gets on. John Greenwich will come to the plate, and he has 3 strikeouts on the day against Rosen.
Tucker into his motion is a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Couple of practice swings. Terrapins looking to salvage this ball game. 1-1 pitch on the way. Grounded hard but foul down the left field line. And the Terrapins down to their last strike as Jerry Spessard is in the hole, 1-2. And the Florida State fans on their feet clapping for Luke Tucker. Terrapin fans hoping Jerry Spessard can keep this game alive. Swung on, grounded, foul. Just getting a piece of that is Jerry Spessard to keep the ball game alive.
Spessard putting up a good effort here, but Taylor seems very, very confident right now. And he has Spessard 1-2. Terrapins down to their last strike, only down by 1 in the bottom of the 9th here at Shipley Field.
Well, they've made this game closer than we expected it to be, but Jerry Spessard looking to make it even closer, hoping to tie this game up. 1-2 pitch on the way, down low in the dirt, a 58-footer, and Spessard evens the count to 2-2. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. The Terrapins trail by a run. 2-2 count to Jerry Spessard. Into his windup. Luke Tucker delivers, swung on and missed, and the ball game is over. Jerry Spessard goes down swinging on strikes, and the Terrapins cannot complete the comeback as they get swept by Florida State. The final score in the final game of the series is 3-2. The Terrapins are defeated. Stay with us. We'll bring you the Terrapin postgame show in just a moment. You're listening to Terrapins Baseball on WMUC Sports and ACC Select. Terrapins defeated in their final game against Florida State in this series. They lose this one 3-2. They make it a lot closer than they did the first 2 games of the series, almost putting up a comeback against a very tough pitcher, Danny Rosen, but they're just unable to complete it as they go down 1-2-3 against Luke Tucker, who gets the save in the final inning of the ball game.
Well, disappointing loss for the Terps, just the way that Florida State came out and scored 29 runs in the first 2 games of the series. The fact that Brett Cecil had a great outing and held them only to 3 runs. The fact that the Terps couldn't come back and finish the comeback. They ended up losing by 1 run, and Florida State sweeps them.
Now let's talk for a minute about Danny Rosen, who started for Florida State, normally a reliever, in fact their closer. But he came out and started this game, went 7.1 innings, and absolutely dominated the Terrapins, giving up only 4 hits and 2 runs. It wasn't even that close, as those 2 runs came after he had left the game. He gave up 2 consecutive singles in the 8th, and eventually Dan Beanick singled in both of them against the new pitcher. But Danny Rosen looking absolutely dominant on the mound against the Terrapins.
Well, it is unfortunate that Cecil was overshadowed by Rosen, but he deserves it. Rosen was absolutely amazing today. He finished with 12 strikeouts, and that was more than double of his previous career high. But I think both Cecil and Rosen showed that while they have really never started games before, they both stepped up to the challenge. So the Terps really have had a problem with run support all year.
You mentioned Brett Cecil, formerly a starter, mainly a closer in this season, making his first start of the season today. He went 7.1 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, only 1 of those earned. Walked 2, struck out 6. The innings pitched and the strikeouts tie a career high. So, as you mentioned, Brett Cecil getting overshadowed because Danny Rosen had such a good game.
Well, it's a shame that the defensive, like you said in the beginning of the game, the Terps were very good defensively, and those errors by Spessard and Murphy really led to this loss, and you can't blame one player. There's a bunch of things that could have gone better for the Terps, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but it really is a really sad way to end a senior day here at Shipley Field.
Nobody on the Terrapins had more than 1 hit. Beanick, Murphy, Greenberg, and Palumbo each with a hit, but only 1. Couple of 2-hit players for Florida State. Tony Thomas Jr. and Mark Hallberg each had 2 hits. Few other players with only 1 hit, so I think we have to give our player of the game to one of the pitchers, and I'm going to throw it to you. Giving it to both. All right.
My player of the game for Maryland is Brett Cecil, and obviously Danny Rosen for Florida State, who is absolutely amazing for Florida State today, and they should probably consider him for being a starter next year.
Well, I will have to agree with you on that. I will split my vote between Rosen and Cecil. So once again, the final score, Florida State defeats the Maryland Terrapins by a score of 3-2. They sweep them in this series. Special thanks to the Media Relations Department, the Baseball